Hi, this is PJ with Jordan's Crazy Dollhouse and Zoo, and it is the middle of the night, and I am having severe neuropathy pain. And in case you didn't know, um, anyone who isn't used to having reborn dolls, people use the reborn dolls for people that are, depression, illnesses. I have a rare blood cancer, and that's another source of comfort for me is the reborn dolls. This is actually my Ashton Drake doll, but it really helps to, when you're having things like this. And tonight I am having really bad pain. My neuropathy is so bad, I am about ready to cry. And so this little girl gives me some comfort. If you don't really know what neuropathy is, I'm going to kind of go through a little bit here. So I'm going to read this off the internet. So when I keep looking over, that's why. There are many types of neuropathy, such as peripheral neuropathy, diabetic neuropathy, metabolic neuropathy, and autonomic neuropathy. Neuropathy refers to the disease of the nerves. The term peripheral neuropathy refers to disease or injury that causes dysfunction of the peripheral nerves. The peripheral nerves describe the peripheral nervous system, comprising of 43 pairs of motor and sensory nerves, and interconnects the spinal cord and brain to the entire body. It controls sensation, motor coordination, and movement. Diabetic neuropathy is a common complication of diabetes mellitus and can affect as many as 50% of patients with diabetes. Regardless of whether it is type 1 or type 2 diabetes, it can severely decrease the quality of life in patients that are affected. While the factors are not fully understood, it has been deemed to be a multifactorial process. Some of the risk factors that are associated with it are poor blood glucose control, increasing age, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, smoking, alcohol consumption, and more. In the United States, it has been estimated that there are as many as 47% of diabetics suffering from neuropathy. Okay, the symptoms of neuropathy are numbness of tingling. Neuropathy means there is some degree of damage or injury to the nerves that causes the nerves to become numb and affected. Individuals may experience sensations of tingling in certain parts of their body. In my case, it's in my hands and my feet and my shoulder blades. The affected nerves are no longer functioning properly. Neuropathy most commonly affects the peripheral nerves, which are located furthest away from the central nervous system and heart, as there is an increasing loss of perception or stimuli in this affected area. Numbness ensues. And my thumb is the worst. It is totally numb, but my fingers are all numb and my hand. And this kind of sounds conflicting, but my hands become so numb and then they hurt. And being numb and hurting, I know sounds conflicting, but it's really what happens. And the symptom two is pain. Some individuals affected with peripheral neuropathy can sometimes experience pain that can be described as sharp and shooting in nature. It most commonly occurs in the legs. Some even experience pain from a stimulus that normally should not cause pain, such as a light touch. Neuropathic pain does not start suddenly or resolve quickly, and the intensity of pain can often wax and wane throughout the course of the day. And today it is my right hand that is really having pain and really bad pain. And I don't know how to explain it, but it kind of follows along the nerve, I guess. And I do things to try to help it, but massaging it a lot of times just makes it worse. Putting it in water sometimes just feels like wherever the water's touching, thousands of little needles are pushing in, poking me. So it's really painful. It really is, and it just feels like my nerve receptors are just firing all at 100 times a minute and all at different locations. So, um, and that's one of the reasons that she's, well, not just her, but any of my dolls, I will cuddle with them because, like I said, I'm about ready to cry tonight because they hurt so bad. Allodynia and hyperalgesia. Allodynia is a medical term that refers to sensitivity to pain that occurs without non-painful stimulation. Allodynia can be aggravated by stimuli such as temperature or physical stimuli and can provoke burning sensation. It is different from hyperalgesia, which is exaggerated response to a stimulus that can be painful. Hyperalgesia is increased sensitivity to pain that may occur due to the damage of receptors or peripheral nerves. There are two types of hyperalgesia, which are primary from and refers to pain occurring in the damaged tissues, while the secondary refers to pain that happens in surrounding undamaged tissues. Both are seen in neuropathy and affect 10 to 50% of the patients affected by it. And my neuropathy, unfortunately, affects both of it, and I'm having a really, really hard time. I'm sorry if I keep just losing my thought and stuff like this, but I'm really, really in a lot of pain because of this. I never realized that neuropathy was painful. I knew that it could cause numbness and tingling, but when mine started off, that's all it was numbness and tingling. And when the pain came, I didn't have any idea what was going on. Symptom number 4 is loss of balance. Individuals with peripheral neuropathy can often lose their balance due to lack of coordination in several different parts of their body. In the body, there are proprioceptors that are a type of receptors of subcutaneous tissue that function to respond accordingly to stimuli that are occurring in the body. Other contributing factors to loss of balance might be due to muscle weakness, which can lead to patients requiring the enlistment of help from other individuals to cope with their daily routines. The injuries sustained from falls and other injuries can further contribute to prolonged periods of rest, which can lead to muscular atrophy and weakness that once again contributes to loss of balance and coordination. Okay, I've heard different things about this. I've heard that the damage in the causes you not to be able to tell when you're not standing upright. But there are many times I have to sit at the edge of the bed and get up very slowly, hanging on to things. And it's because of the neuropathy that I don't even know if this is a thing or not. But to me, my neuropathy feels like the bones are breaking in my forearms and in my lower legs. It literally, that's what it feels like to me. And it is very, very painful. And this really helps. And if you have neuropathy or something else that's very painful, or cancer like I do, and or when I had my stroke and I was in the hospital, having one of these babies is really, really a great comfort. Symptom 5, issues with gait. In patients with diabetic neuropathy, these patients experience impaired vibration and protective sensation, loss of sensation, reduced strength in the lower extremities, and altercations in the central nervous system that can all contribute to the issues of gait in diabetic patients. It has been found that patients with diabetic neuropathy have a higher risk of falling, especially during movement, suggesting that there may be difficulty maintaining stability during walking. It has also been observed that these patients have a greater shift in their central mass when using the stairs. A study also reported that diabetes takes additional steps when they walk in a linear path, and during times that indicates their additional instability. I don't really have too much instability when I'm walking. Mine's mostly just getting up and trying to get up and not fall over getting up, which is really not a really good thing, because you know the possibility is there that you may fall just because of the instability. Symptom 6, cramps. As previously established, there are many types of neuropathy. Patients who suffer from neuropathy often report experiencing muscle cramps. A muscle cramp is an involuntary and rapid contraction of the muscles. While it is generally harmless, it can cause severe pain and result in temporary loss of muscle functions until it resolves. While it is a nonspecific symptom, it can be associated with any other disease, such as amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, or better known as Lou Gehrig's disease. It can occur with low calcium levels and neuropathy. If you are constantly experiencing muscle cramps, you should make an appointment with your doctor to determine the underlying cause of the condition. Now, my muscle cramps are usually in my right hand, and whenever I try to move things around with my right hand, it gets right there and I can't do anything, and it hurts so bad when it's cramping up, and I can't actually move things or do any. I don't even know how to explain it. It is so horrible. It's very, very painful, and it just, you can't straighten your hand out when it's happening. So I don't know if you're understanding what I'm trying to say here. If anyone has neuropathy, please comment on my video here and tell me, what's going on with you. Symptom 7 is weakness. If sensory nerves are affected in the sensations such as touch, pain, vibration, or other symptoms such as muscle twitching, cramping, spasm, tiredness, and other factors can contribute to further muscle weakness as the muscles start to atrophy. The pain can also cause the patient to be unwilling to move, which further contributes muscular weakness. Management such as physical rehabilitation might be beneficial. If elderly patients, the symptom of weakness can often be mistaken as part of the aging process. And the weakness is very true. If I try to, say, dip into ice cream, which I found out I shouldn't do because sugar can cause the neuropathy to be the word, but if I try to use a spoon to dip into ice cream, the hardness of the ice cream, which isn't that hard, just immediately starts the pain and the muscle spasms. It's just not real fun in any way at all. Gastrointestinal problems. Anatomic neuropathy seen in patients with diabetes is important as it affects a significant population of diabetics, regardless of the type, 1 or 2 diabetics. Some of the gastrointestinal affecting those with neuropathy are gastroparesis, a condition where muscles or nerves in the stomach stop working, leading to poor emptying of food from the stomach into the intestine, and general signs of dysfunction of the bowels. Now, that doesn't affect me, and I do not have diabetes. So my neuropathy started up when I started taking a drug called Pegasus interferon, and they say that is one of the side effects. Low blood pressure. In some cases, neuropathy where the autonomic nerves are affected, it can cause low blood pressure that leads to dizziness and fainting. Usually patients develop a condition called orthostatic hypotension, which means that their blood pressure falls after standing up. That has not happened to me yet, but I have started noticing that I can get very dizzy when I first stand up. And so that's something we're going to be checking on and see if it's causing me a problem. And Bell's palsy. Another form of neuropathy is known as cranial neuropathy. The cranial nerves originate from the brain or brainstem and affect important areas such as the face and eyes when cranial neuropathies occur. One of the conditions that can result is Bell's palsy. Bell's palsy, there is temporary weakness of the facial muscles causing one side of the face to droop. This also means that any emotions that you express will only be reflected on one side. Bell's palsy occurs when the facial nerve becomes affected. Okay, now I had this problem when I had my stroke 5 years ago, and I still have a little bit of drooping because of that stroke. You can kind of see this is a little bit of drooping at my lips, and one of the reasons I hate to smile and take pictures of myself is because I can see it. Not everybody notice it, but I notice it. So anyway, if you do have neuropathy or any other major illness, and or even depression, and you feel like you need something, um, so many times one of these babies are the perfect thing to just cuddle and hold and give you support, even though they're just a doll. It's really helpful to do that, and I use my dolls a lot like that. If I'm not feeling good or I'm feeling in a lot of pain, I will get one of my dolls and hold it, and many times sleep with it in my bed. And my husband is gone. He passed away 3 years ago, so I don't have to worry about anyone being in the bed with me, just me and my dogs. But my dogs don't care about my dolls. Sometimes they get a little jealous of them, but they don't mess with them, so that works out okay. But anyway, like I said, if you have neuropathy and you have any ideas on what you do that helps, please let me know in the comments, because I am desperate, and I get to hurting so bad that there's not much I wouldn't try to get rid of this pain. And right now I am going to go keto to try to cut out the sugar and carbohydrates. It's supposed to help with the pain and the nerve damage. So anyway, if you've got any advice at all, please comment in my comments, because I would love to know them, especially if you've tried something that works for you. I would really love. Right now I am taking gabapentin. I do have pain pills. I try not to use them too much because I worry about getting addicted to the pain pills. So I use them very sparingly. But I do use my gabapentin. I use it 3 times a day, and I use it without fail. It's supposed to last 8 hours, but usually after about between 6 and 7 hours, I really start feeling it. And so a lot of times I use it about every 6 hours. But anyway, thanks for watching the video. And like I said, if there's anything you have that tried that has worked and can maybe help me out, please leave a comment. I'd be so happy to try anything out. I am cutting out the sugar, and so I will be back in a month or so and let you know how that worked for me. Thanks for watching, and if you like our videos, please give us a thumbs up. And if you want to subscribe to our channel, hopefully we'll be talking about neuropathy again and finding some ways to not be in so much pain. Thanks for watching. Bye.